Concerning the topic of divorce, I like this. Jeremiah 3:8. God issued a decree of divorce to Israel. Now, anytime anybody in this room, and I'm sure some of you people have been divorced, you've either issued a bill of divorce, made you a divorcee, or you received a bill of divorce that went through the law and you're a divorcee. Anytime you issue or receive a bill of divorce that's given, you are now a divorcee. The biblical God issued a bill of divorce that makes him a divorcee. Why is the Catholic Church so against divorce if their model is also a divorcee? Now, Jesus is the one that changed the divorce law, by the way. He didn't get along with his own self, his own father, whatever. He rubbed elbows in dietary laws. There's quite a few different things that Jesus changed. Paul, the biggest changer of all, the Catholics mostly, and some of the others should be called not Christianity, they should be called Polyanity. Because Paul changed a whole bunch of stuff. Say salvation by grace instead of salvation by law, which was what Jesus and Peter pushed. Paul went the other way. Jesus and Paul really went separate ways. Believers don't want to hear that. And most of the Catholics, they push Polyanity. They push grace. They push a whole bunch of stuff that Jesus said no. In fact, Jesus was adamantly, it's Jews only. It's Jews only with Jesus. How many realize that? He didn't open it up to the others. Paul opened up to the Gentile. Jesus didn't do that. If you got any questions, go ahead and fill them out. We're not going to answer them right now, but make sure you have them down for later, because it's fair to you to say, I got to ask this, or I got to bring this up, a statement, and so forth. These are important times. These are the times you learn in big swells. Of course, anything you hear today, you'll see on my God Murders website under the topic Jesus. What qualifies as an atheist? Concerning Jesus Christ and the biblical God, is there only one God? Well, if you believe in the Trinity, it's kind of hard to say there's only one God. Was Jesus Christ the one God of Abraham? No. But if there's only one God, you see the little bit of double bind there? Did Moses and King David speak about Jesus Christ as their one God? No. Is Jesus Christ considered to be the one God of Abraham in any religion? No. Do Jews and Muslims deny that Jesus Christ is God? Yes. Both Jews and Muslims agree that Jesus Christ is not God. But you're going to be surprised at what the Muslims do concerning Jesus Christ. This is going to be a breakthrough and eye-opener for some. If you do not believe in Islam's Allah, who is the exact same one God of Abraham, and the Quran, does Islam consider you to be an atheist? I used this last time I was speaking. Somebody said to me, Gary, what's it feel like to be an atheist? And I said, well, do you believe in Islam's Allah? He said, no. I said, that's what it feels like to be an atheist. Islam's Allah is the exact same one God of Abraham that the Jews and the Christians worship. Again, it tears you apart to learn these things sometimes. But this is what the reality is. The angel Gabriel said to Mary, Elizabeth, your relative, that's Mary's mother's sister. Now, Mary's mother's name was what? Anna. Joachim is Mary's father's name. Had never heard that before. Mary's mother, Mary's father, by name. Elizabeth is their cousin, Mary's mother's sister, so it's her aunt. But she has who? John the Baptist. That's her son. So that makes John the Baptist a cousin, doesn't it? You're starting to see a little bit of sense of something here happening later on when John the Baptist is in the Jordan and the Messiah has arrived. He says, baptize me. Oh, you should be baptizing me. I don't have to go through his own nonsense. Like I've never seen you before. Again, tight Jewish family, nothing makes sense. It's like they're strangers, never met him before. And he baptizes him and tells him how he's going to be the biggie now. By the way, in Islam, John the Baptist is a prophet of Allah. New information, isn't it? Guess who else is a prophet of Allah? Jesus Christ is a Muslim, a prophet of Allah according to the Quran. Surprise, surprise. Jesus Christ is in 93 verses of the Quran. Mary, his mother, is mentioned more in the Quran than she is in the Bible, in the New Testament. Surprise, surprise. Jesus is a very, very big player in the Quran. Does this change your mind about the Quran and Islam at all as to what makes up Islam? Even Jesus' disciples said, we will serve Allah. They're Muslims. They're all Muslims according to the Quran. The mission of these particular Muslims was to give a gospel to the Jews so they could all become one religion under Islam. There, I said it. That's the whole agenda of what Islam was about. Both in Matthew 1 and Luke 3, there's a conflict in Joseph's lineage. Who's Joseph? Joseph is Mary's husband. That's the father of Jesus, right? They come from King David, and both sons from Bathsheba. She had two sons, and they had two lineages going down that supposedly went through Joseph. There's contradictions all the way down, right? Starting with the first two sons of Bathsheba. How do they expect you to swallow this? And then they make the excuse, well, one of them is for Mary and one's for Joseph. But Joseph never impregnated Mary, and Jesus is not Joseph's son, so that's bogus on top of it. Why are they using these lineages? And you have to be a blood relative, genetic relative to David to fulfill Scripture. Psalm 22, by the way, is just what they plagiarized, Psalm 22, to do the whole Jesus Christ and the when he died on the cross thing. How many people knew that? Listen to this. Luke 2:52. Jesus increased in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man. Jesus is growing up. He's increasing in wisdom and stature and in favor with God. Now, how can he be God if he's building up in favor with God? You can't have it both ways, folks. If Jesus increases favor with God, then Jesus certainly is not God. Jesus said he had the power to forgive sins. That's what got him what? That's what got him crucified. He did say, I have the power to forgive sins. The Jewish writer Josephus, you always heard excuses about him, right? Oh, well, Josephus mentioned Jesus, so it must be true. Well, first of all, Josephus wasn't even alive until well after Jesus was dead. He never met Jesus. And he was a big, big Jewish writer. He was huge. In Mark 2:17 and Luke 5:31, Jesus Christ said, "Those who are healthy and well do not need a physician, but the sick do." What did Jesus say? Jesus said the sick do need a physician. Now you got Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. How many people know that Luke is a physician? He's a doctor. He's a medical doctor. He's also Greek. He's not a Jew. Two things you may not have known. So here's on staff a physician, and Jesus says the sick need a physician. Concerning physicians, why do Christian scientists ignore these last two Bible chapter and verse passages and avoid physicians? Don't Christian scientists believe that Jesus Christ's own words? Don't they believe in Jesus, apostle and writer St. Luke? Why do Christian scientists let their kids die when this is in their book? Anybody have an answer for that? I'd like to hear it during the question period.